again, everyone. Deb and I are getting together for another collaboration. So this time we're going to use
cone flower. We're going to use the same dye.
Cone flowers.
Cone flowers.
Cone flowers. They're this big. 2 little flowers this big. So we thought we'd just say hello before we started the videos. But we've also had a lot of questions from people, commenters, crafters.
So we've decided to do the question and answers as one video, because we've had quite a few, and then the next video will be the making of the card.
First question, how did we meet? Well, we're both crafters, so we met virtually first of all. I had taken my 2 grandkids just down the road from here to the D-Day Museum.
Yep.
And I put a post on Facebook and Deb saw it and she thought, comment, you're just down the road from me. So we found out where we lived, and we're about 14 miles apart. So I live further towards Southampton, Deb's in Portsmouth. So we decided that we would meet up. So we met for coffee, didn't we?
Coffees, yeah.
And then we've met lots of times since. Exchanging doubles of dyes and things like this. Yeah. Lots of ideas and lots of fun.
Editing lessons. And...
oh, yes, Deb's taught me how to... When I got my new MacBook, I hadn't got a clue how to use it. And so I toddled down... Oh, there's the dogs. Toddled down here, have lessons.
Well, my viewers will know that the dogs are going to shout at some point during this. So I may as well just leave it in and say, sorry about the dogs, which is what I say almost every single time.
Okay, now, Deb, a question for you.
Question from me was, what training did you have, if any, and what did you do before you retired? And a question along with that from someone else was, I know Chris was a teacher, but what did you do? So I... left school when I was 15. I didn't have any training. I had an art exam, passing an art exam for a CSE, which is lower than a GCSE at the time. A long time ago. I don't think they exist anymore, do they?
No, I don't think so. No, I think GCEs, which is what I did, and CSEs were combined for the GCSEs, which is what my granddaughter's doing any minute now.
Yeah, so no training. I left school when I was 15 and I went straight to work, and I worked at IT for a long time doing user support, PC support, that sort of stuff. Decided I wanted to stop that because it was just too much, really. And I gave up work for a few months and then thought, well, you need to get a job. And I went into supporting adults with learning difficulties. So, and while I was doing that, I was doing some crafting for them and such like. So I enjoyed that for as long as that lasted, and that's about it, really. And then I retired. And that's lovely. And I love it.
It's the best job you've ever had. It's definitely
perfect.
The best job I've ever had.
You don't know what day it is and you don't care.
No, you don't care.
Oh. Sorry, Rabbit's just not the camera. But hopefully they're back and they're going to be quiet now for a little while.
So my training. At school, I did A-level art. And when I went to train to be a teacher, I was just saying to Deb, I got into college on an art interview, but they put me into a painting group and I can't paint for toffee. So once at college, I switched my subjects and I did main music and subsidiary art. And I then could go into a craft group, which was much, much better. Things like machine embroidery and screen printing and nice things, you know. So that was, and then I taught infants, of course, and I was messing about with paint and glue and
did you always teach infants?
Always.
They sound like the best ones to teach.
Well, to be honest, they're the ones that need the most teaching. I think as you get older, you can get away with kids, you can get away with presenting information, but with little ones, you actually have to teach them. Yeah. You have to actually teach them, and they all learn in a different way. So you show them, you tell them, you let them have a play. You know, I like playing myself.
Yes, indeed.
So that was me. So Another question.
Another question, your turn.
Oh, my question. Have we been on any design teams? You've been on design
I've
teams.
been on one design team, but it wasn't for. It wasn't really for card making. It was for the scan and cut.
Okay.
I bought a scan and cut and joined a group, a Facebook group, and there was they were having a little competition, which was it was to do with card making. It was someone, Natalie, whose team it was, made a card. She didn't show the card to anybody, but you said what it was. So you said, this is a Christmas card. It's got Happy Christmas on it. It's got a deer on it in a aperture.
But you didn't see it.
You didn't see the card. And what you had to do was make a card the same with what gear you've got.
Oh, crikey, sounds difficult.
And just do what you think they've told you they're making. It's really good, actually. It was really good, yeah. Because the cards are so different. You think, well, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
But it's different people's, in a way,
it.
it's different people's interpretations.
Anyway,
exactly.
She really liked my card, and she asked me if I wanted to be on the design team. And at the time, I didn't even know what one was. I was like, what's a design team then? What's that? And when she said, well, you can... you get some bits and make things and send them, and they can be on telly and all that sort of stuff. I thought, oh yeah, great. But it was more scan and cut driven than cards, and I use the scan and cut for cards, and that's what I like to do, is to make the cards. So I was on our team for a couple of years and then stopped.
Very good. So I've been on a load of design teams. I still got a blog, but I haven't used it since I opened my Facebook page. So when I was using my blog, I was on lots of mainly clean and simple design teams, and I actually started a challenge blog myself with a friend from the island, the Isle of Wight, that is. I nearly said the Isle of Man. The Isle of Wight. We started Less is More, and that ran for many years. I ran it for many years, then I stepped back, and it carried on for quite a lot of years as well. But I think they're having a bit of a hiatus at the moment. But lots of clean and simples, that kind of thing.
So I don't think there's much around clean and simple at the minute. I think it sort of goes, everything goes in sort of waves,
really?
Doesn't it? The design teams, because I'm in a Facebook group that asks for design teams. And there's lots of, it's a lot of US ones, but they're scrapbooking and grungy.
Never done scrapbooking.
No, I've made a couple of pages when I was on the design team for.
Never done it. It looks a bit hard to me.
Yeah.
Okay, another question from you.
Another question. Okay. So, were you taught to shade / colour, or did you just develop? And have you always been a great colourist?
There you go.
I've been I was a rubbish colourist. I was. Nobody taught me how to do it as such. I like colouring, but I was never that good at it. I used to use pencils. Then I picked up alcohol markers, and I was so rubbish at them. I couldn't get any of it to work. But I think it's the pens that you've got make an important difference. But yeah, I couldn't get any of them to work. Couldn't get it to blend and couldn't get it to look right or anything. Because there's lots of
imponderables, though, aren't there,
yeah.
with colouring? It's what pens you've got, what paper you've got,
indeed,
etc.
all that stuff. Yeah, and there is one person I do watch, which is Kelly Taylor. She's a US YouTuber, and she does a lot of alcohol pen colouring. And she's really, really good. So I did get some little tips and tricks from her. But I do it every day. So
but you're brilliant now.
You know,
where you got it from is...
I do it every single day. And you can't but get better when you do something all the time. I mean, I desperately want to draw, but I don't do it every day. So I'm never going to get there. I need to do it every day. But that's... Yeah, so no, I was rubbish.
You're not rubbish now, though.
No,
you're a star now, let's face it.
Your colouring's lovely, though.
Well, it's probably a bit different, I don't know. It depends, again, what markers you're using.
Yes,
really, they do vary enormously, and it's kind of horses for courses, really. It depends what kind of colouring you want to do. There are brush tips and kind of bullet tips, and the effect is very different, isn't it?
It is
very different.
I couldn't do the blending with bullet tip. Couldn't do it.
You can do, but it's quite difficult, isn't it?
The brush tip is I think is so much easier. But like you say, it's horses for courses. If you know, some people don't like the brush tips, so
you'd have to have a go and find out how it feels, wouldn't you? Really, yeah. So is it your turn for a question? I don't know where we got up to, really.
No, it's your turn.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Oh dear. It says, have you always been makers, and if so, what of?
Oh yeah, I've got one similar to that, which is, have either of you any other craft related things that you do?
That's the one, yes.
So do you do what you do?
Well, I do. Well, when the kids were smaller, I used to sew. I sewed all their clothes.
Oh wow.
My mother bought me a sewing machine for my 21st birthday, and from then on, I was sewing. My mother was so talented. She could knit, sew, crochet, you name it. She was brilliant. And when I was a child, didn't have any bought clothes, really, hardly at all.
Didn't you?
No. She knit, when I went to grammar school, there was a uniform. I think she might have bought a shirt, actually. But the tunic and the jumpers and everything she made.
Oh wow!
I have made my husband a shirt before.
Maybe. Oh my God! I couldn't even.
In the days of yore, just to prove I could do it, but I wouldn't do another one probably.
Probably say, wear that shirt. No,
you wouldn't fit in it now. Oh my goodness! So I knit as well.
My granny. I used to as a kid used to go down to Dorset every summer holiday. And she taught me how to crochet. And when I was probably 7, I made a poncho.
Wow.
And then I was making ponchos for everybody because I could
do it.
Yeah, so I used to make ponchos. And she taught me how to knit as well. I can do crochet.
I can do basic crochet. I can do, have you ever tried making one of the octopuses for the neonatal?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you should do that if you can crochet.
Yeah.
They make these. They're made of cotton, and you have to do it to a very, very tight specification. But they've got like curly tentacles, and the preemies really. They hold them, and they just feel like the umbilical cord. I think
Oh wow, yeah.
And they octopuses for preemies, and we should make them.
Yeah, no,
I'll put you in touch with somebody.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. So, have we finished that one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I lose track of what was actually asked.
No, me too, actually. But there you
We're
go.
old. We're old.
We're allowed, aren't we? Where do we get our ideas from? That's the next one. Well, anywhere. You can look at a curtain and think, oh, that's a nice pattern. I could make a card like that. I made a series of cards with stuff I brought back from holiday.
You did. That was a brilliant series,
earrings,
actually. I love that.
And
the jumper.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
The earrings. There was another piece of jewellery, I think.
Yeah, and then I bought some, I have to do these, won't I? These came from Antigua.
Did they? They're nice.
Yeah, I liked them. I had some Blue John earrings, do you remember? So I tried to make a panel that looked like the stone. So inspiration can come from just absolutely anywhere. And what were you telling me?
I usually think about what I'm going to make that day when I'm walking the dogs in the morning, because it's such quiet, peaceful, and ideas come then. Yeah, I was walking along and saw an ant and thought I can make an ant out of the Infinite Doodles dies. So I came back and made an ant.
I think that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It's
It's
from
anything
anywhere.
and
It's from
everything, isn't it?
Yeah, you can walk along and see a flower and think, oh, that's a lovely colour. I'm going to make a card in that colour. It doesn't even have to be the flower.
No.
So yeah, it's hard to say where all the ideas come from, but I mean, I think you get influenced by what you see other people making as well. I mean, there's times when you know, you've thought, well, this card has been inspired by this one,
and you may see a technique or something and think, oh, I could do so and so with that. Not necessarily what the person was showing, but so kind of the answer's anywhere, really.
Yes.
Absolutely anywhere. Have you got anything there?
Let's see what else we got. Anything else here? Oh, I've got how long have you been card making? What do you do with all your cards? And what's your favourite paper and why, or card and why?
Oh, crikey, that's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how long? Where did we start with that?
How long have you been card making?
I started in 2007. Did I? I might have done.
I don't know.
Well, whenever it was, can't remember dates. I'm old. I'm allowed to forget. My daughter asked me to make wedding stationery for her when she got married, and so that was the opening of the door, and it's never been shut since.
My sister used to make cards, and I always sort of loved what she made. And one day I forgot to buy her a birthday card, and that was back in the time when the shops didn't open Sundays or 24 hours or
Wednesday afternoons.
Yeah. So I couldn't get to a shop, so I thought, I better make one. So I made one, and then it just went from there. But that was probably 35 years ago.
Oh, crikey.
But there's been times when I've not been, you know, when I was working, I wouldn't be up here every day doing a card. I'd be up at the weekend for a couple of hours or whatever. It's only since I'm retired that I'm always in here.
Yeah.
That's only because the dogs tell me it's time to go upstairs and make a card, Mum.
Bless them. Yeah, I think it was 2007. That was when my daughter got married, and they have accumulated a lot of stuff since. What do you do with the cards? Well, I give a lot away as presents. I make boxes and give people a box of cards as Christmas and whatever. I sell some at my choir as a fundraiser for them. So I've given hundreds of pounds to my choir from cards that choir members have bought. One lady mentioned to me that she had won a competition for card making, and she was going to make a lot of cards for the charity that she supported. So I said, well, you know, I've got some here, I'll send you some. So I'm happy to send cards to different charities because I've got boxes at home.
Well, you can see the amount that I've got up there. Boxes and racks and boxes and boxes. So I do the same as Chris. I make boxes and put 10, 12, 15 cards in a box, and that's Christmas presents, birthday presents, whatever. And I give them to people if they say, have you got any cards, because I need one for such a body. Yeah, there you go, there you go. And then the others just sort of sit here. There are some that I just can't get rid of, some that I've made that I absolutely love.
Yeah. You know, I can understand why when we look at your cards they are
there's some fabulous. I mean, I made one for my mum who's passed, but I was out walking, and it was, I don't know whether it was Mother's Day or coming up to her birthday or something, but I just thought, she loved giraffes, I'll make a giraffe for her. I could never get rid of that card. No. Never get rid of that card. No.
And I am sure that people that you give cards to tell you that the cards that you have made stay on the mantelpiece for a lot longer than any of the others.
My niece and her kids, she's got 3 kids, they've still got cards back from when they were born, and they just leave them all up in their rooms. Yeah, so they keep them all up. It's very very sweet.
It's very gratifying to you, though, isn't it? Really, to hear that people want to keep them. They just can't physically throw them away.
And I don't expect people to. That's just a bit
No.
over in the end, really, isn't it? So, you know. What is your favourite paper or card and why?
Okay. My favourite is, it's called Silk Weave Linen. And I get it from a company called Cintigo, who I think are Sussex somewhere.
Oh, okay.
But they sell it on Amazon in the States and in this country. And it's just a beautiful paper. If you look at it online, on their website, you'd probably think,
It doesn't look anything, does it?
I don't think I like this very much. It looks coarse. You know, the weave looks coarse, but it's the most smooth. You can stamp on it. You know, you could write on it. It's beautiful. I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. And the number of people who comment and say, what paper do you use?
Yeah, it's nice. I use Craft UK linen card and Craft UK smooth card. So they're exactly the same colour, which is
nice.
what I like. And
where do you get that
it's
from?
nice. You can get it from Amazon, Craft Stash, Paper Mill Direct.
Oh, really?
So it's it's
I always used
Craft
to buy
UK,
from...
I think it's called.
Did you go to Paper Mill when it was here?
No, I didn't go.
There used to be
I
one
used to use it.
in Gunwharf,
Oh, did there?
but there was one in the shopping centre near me, and I've got boxes and boxes and boxes of coloured card.
Oh, right.
It's a good job they closed the shops, because there would
Yeah,
be no
just
room in my
keep-
house for
keep
any more.
buying,
Every
yeah.
time I went in, I had to buy, you know, a pick and mix box kind of thing, this size. But they're now in boxes that size, and I've got about 10 of them, all colours. But paper's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
the other
just-
thing I liked was the American Craft coloured card, which I've got some up there, but I bought every single one. I bought it off the telly because they had them on offer, so I bought all the sets. But I'm slowly running out of them now, and I say, oh God, I haven't got any more of that colour. But you can't get it in the UK anymore for some reason.
Yeah. But it's personal preference, of course, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Personal
It is.
preference, but
It's nice to have a nice smooth card to stamp on, really. And
yeah. But with the linen one that I use it both sides.
yes, I do as well.
So sometimes, you know, if I'm going to stamp, I'll stamp on the smooth side, and it makes a nice contrast.
It
If
does.
that's a die cut piece on with a linen
Yeah.
surround, lovely.
Yes.
So it's personal preference, though, isn't it? Really. How are we doing?
I think we're nearly at the end now, but there was a lady who asked what ink pad should you use with alcohol markers, because she's been Googling and she's got herself all all confused. So you want something like Memento or a hybrid ink pad that says, they normally say on the back, don't they?
Don't ask me to look.
Can you see that?
I can remember the very first, when I first started crafting, I used to use StazOn a lot for stamping. And colouring with, you know, watercolour markers or whatever is fine. But when I first had some Copics, I was starting to colour, and there were this awful smears, you know, and I was horrified. And somebody said to me, you need to use Memento. Yeah. But there are other
There are
inks.
others,
Yeah.
I think I've got Hero Arts one as well, but
I've got Memento. I've got a.
I always stamp in that, and on some of my YouTubes now, you'll see me stamp in that, colour it, and then re-stamp in that, because that is a gorgeous ink, Versafine Clair.
I love it.
It's so dark and so luscious and lovely.
Yeah.
So if I want a dark outline on something that I've inked in Memento, I leave it in a stamp platform and redo it with that. But you couldn't. Mind you,
I can.
Some of yours do, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't know if those...
the Nouveau markers don't seem to worry too much.
I wonder if it's a particular marker. There must be, mustn't it?
I think it's got a lot to do with the.
Because these Ohuhu light ones would smear that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm new to. I'm
Mind
going to have the
if you
lessons.
try it and it works for you, I'm going to come round and give you a smack. Because it doesn't work for me.
I haven't really tried any of them. It is the light colours that show, obviously,
Oh,
more
yeah,
than
the light
anything.
colours will
So
really
if you
flag them.
touch the line with a very pale coloured marker, you get a smear. So yeah.
Unless you've got
The hybrid or the Memento.
a hybrid one.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. We've been chatting for ages.
Yeah, but it's nice, isn't it, having a chat? We do like having a chat, don't we? So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've found out a thing or two about us, about what we do, where we're from. South of England.
Yes.
South of England. Go much further south, we'd be in the water. It's just down there.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go in the water. Too cold.
People do, but not
They
I.
do,
Not
yeah.
I. Not
Yeah,
I.
no.
So, hope you've enjoyed watching, and we'll see you soon.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. Chris. No, that didn't work. I forgot your names.
And this is Arthur. So I've toddled down. Oh, there's the dogs. Toddled down here to have lessons.
Badger. They got a. Oh. Stop it! Bloody dogs.
Oh dear. Hello again.
I might do a blooper there.
I think that'll be a brilliant one. You can keep all the outtakes. Right. Here we go.